Have you ever wondered why some men, without wealth or status, still leave women completely captivated, while others, who have everything, are ignored? Why do some women stay awake thinking about a man who gave her nothing but presents, and forget the one who tried to buy her affection? Here's the secret no one tells you. Women crave something far deeper than money. They crave a man whose silence calms them, whose gaze anchors them, whose energy feels safer than any promise. This isn't about playing hard to get. It's about becoming the man who doesn't need to perform because his presence alone is valuable. Right now, you might be chasing, proving, or overgiving. But the game changes, without a word, when you shift your energy. If you're ready to embody the one thing she desires but can never ask for. Like this video,
subscribe,
turn on notifications, and comment below. My presence creates peace she can feel. Number 1. What women secretly crave more than money: presents, not possessions. You've seen it happen. The man with wealth, charm, and access to everything, cars, dinners, suits, is still forgotten. Meanwhile, with no flash or fortune, another man walks into the room and leaves a mark that lingers in her mind long after he's gone.
Why?
Because he gave her something rare. Something money can't buy. His full presence. Presence is the new luxury. In a world distracted by screens and overstimulation, most women won't say this out loud. But deep down, what truly makes them feel safe, seen, and drawn to a man isn't his bank account. It's his attention. Not the kind of attention that buys flowers when he remembers. The kind of attention that makes her feel like she's the only person in the room when he listens. You see, money creates moments, but presence creates connection. And that connection can't be bought. It has to be built. A man who practices presence doesn't look over her shoulder while she's speaking, doesn't check his phone mid-conversation, doesn't rush to respond just to be polite. He absorbs. He notices the tone shift in her voice, the flicker of doubt in her eyes, the pause between sentences that tells a deeper story. He's there, not just physically, but emotionally. And that's what makes her feel something far deeper than romance. The Stoics, though often misunderstood as cold or emotionless, were masters of presence. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Concentrate every minute like a Roman, like a man, on doing what's in front of you with precise and genuine seriousness." In love, that means giving her not your money, but your moment. Not your resources, but your attention. Presence is power, but not loud, showy power. It's quiet, anchored power. It separates the man who gives from the man who offers himself. And that offering, being fully here, ignites attraction on a level no gift can touch. Here's the irony. Presence is free, yet it's the most expensive thing you can give.
Why?
Because it requires discipline, intention, and inner stillness. It demands that you stop performing and start being. It asks you to let go of control and simply tune in. Not to impress her, but to respect her. So next time you wonder what will make her remember you, don't reach for your wallet. Reach for your focus. Look her in the eye. Breathe with her. Let the noise fall away. Because when she feels you're truly there, she'll never forget how you made her feel. The man who chooses depth over display becomes the one she can't stop thinking about. Comment below. I control my mind. No one else does. Number 2. Emotional mastery. The calm that captivates her. There's a storm brewing everywhere. On the streets, on her social media feed, in the fast-changing world she navigates daily. But when she meets a man who doesn't flinch at chaos, who doesn't react to every emotional wave, who stands still while others panic, she notices. And more than that, she's drawn in. What truly captivates a woman isn't raw dominance or flashy passion. It's emotional mastery. The man who doesn't raise his voice just to be heard. The man who doesn't lash out when he's hurt. The man who doesn't need to win the argument, because he knows how to win his peace. That man becomes a lighthouse in her storm, a source of gravity in a world full of drift. Why does this matter so much? Because emotions are contagious. If you're anxious, she'll feel it. If you're needy, she'll pull away. But if you're truly grounded, you don't just create attraction. You create safety. And that safety is what allows her to be vulnerable, to trust, to connect at a level far beyond surface attraction. The Stoics mastered this. Seneca said, "He who angers you conquers you." The modern man who wants to earn her respect must first master his own reactions. That means learning to pause when provoked, breathe when triggered, respond instead of react. It means not trying to fix her emotions, but witnessing them with strength and calmness. That kind of silence, when held correctly, is louder than shouting ever could be. Mastery isn't the absence of feeling, it's the management of feeling. It's the difference between suppressing and owning. The difference between being numb and being still. A Stoic man feels deeply, but he channels those feelings into presence, action, and principle. And here's what women intuitively pick up on. When a man stays calm under emotional pressure, it signals maturity, confidence, and depth. Not every man can stay present when she's emotional. Not every man can listen without becoming defensive. Not every man can hold space instead of grabbing control. But the few who can, they leave a lasting impact. This is not about becoming emotionless. It's about becoming emotionally anchored. It's about showing her that while the world may spin, you don't. And in that stability, she finds something more powerful than money, muscles, or words.
Try.
Because the man who commands himself becomes the one she can lean on without fear. Comment below. I control my mind. No one else does. Number 3. The magnetic pull of purpose. Why mission-driven men are irresistible. There's something different about a man who moves with direction.
You see it in his walk.
You hear it in his voice. You feel it in the way he looks at life. Not searching for validation, but pursuing something bigger than himself. And for many women, that kind of man is magnetic. Purpose is not just a goal. It's not about making money or chasing status. It's about having a compass, an inner calling that shapes how you show up every day. A man with purpose doesn't orbit around a woman. He doesn't lose himself trying to please. Instead, he invites her into a world already in motion, a world where meaning, vision, and values take the lead. And that is exactly what makes him stand out. Most men fall into the trap of making a woman the center of their universe. They drop everything, abandon their routines, and start chasing. But ironically, the more they do this, the more they lose what made them attractive in the first place. Their fire, their ambition, their edge. And when that happens, she starts to pull away. Not because she doesn't care, but because she no longer feels the pull. Purpose creates polarity. It gives your energy direction. It gives your presence weight. When you're focused on a mission, whether it's building something, leading something, or becoming something, your life speaks louder than any pickup line ever could. You become interesting without trying, desired without performing, respected without demanding. From a Stoic perspective, this is the foundation of masculine virtue. Marcus Aurelius didn't talk about seduction. He talked about duty. He wrote, "A man's worth is no greater than the worth of his ambitions." A man who lives for something beyond approval becomes immune to the games that drain others. He doesn't get lost in mixed signals. He doesn't panic at silence. He keeps moving forward, focused and firm. And here's the paradox. When you no longer need her to feel fulfilled, she feels drawn to you. Not because you ignore her, but because you don't need her to feel enough. That confidence, that wholeness, it's rare. And in a world of men who chase, it's unforgettable. So if you want to become irresistible, don't chase her. Chase purpose. Build a life so rich in meaning that when she steps into it, she feels elevated, not burdened. Because the man with a mission doesn't just attract her, he inspires her. Comment below. I control my mind. No one else does. Number 4. Why discipline is the silent aphrodisiac, the hidden power she feels without you saying a word. You don't need six-pack abs or a luxury car to be desirable. What women feel, often without even knowing why, is something quieter, deeper, and far more enduring. Your discipline. The way you get up early, when no one's watching, the way you show up to your commitments, the way you resist what's easy to become someone worthy of respect, that is what makes you unforgettable. Discipline isn't loud. It doesn't shout for attention. It whispers in how you carry yourself. And women sense it. A man who practices discipline isn't perfect, but he's predictable in the best way. He says what he means. He follows through. He has routines, standards, and values that he... Number 5. The mystery that makes her stay curious. Why not revealing everything keeps her intrigued in the age of oversharing. The man who holds something back becomes unforgettable. Not because he's manipulative, but because he has depth. And depth can't be dumped all at once. It must be revealed slowly, intentionally, authentically. That unfolding, that subtle tension, keeps her drawn to you long after the first conversation ends. Mystery is not about being secretive. It's about having a rich inner world, your values, experiences, insights, that she doesn't get full access to right away. When you reveal too much too soon, you rob her of one of the most powerful feminine drives in connection, curiosity. And without curiosity, desire dies. A mysterious man doesn't play games. He just doesn't need to explain everything. He doesn't rush to prove himself. He doesn't fill every silence with stories or try to impress with endless details. He lets her wonder. He lets her lean in. And in doing so, he flips the script. Now she's chasing the unknown. From a Stoic lens, mystery is a form of restraint. It's the refusal to let external validation define your self-worth. Marcus Aurelius said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." When your inner world is rich and disciplined, you don't need to decorate it for others. You live it, quietly, powerfully. And that quiet power draws people in. Women are not obsessed with perfection. They're obsessed with discovery. They want to feel like they're uncovering something real. But if everything is on display from day one,